All right, Aries, welcome into your October reading. Welcome in. Hopefully you've had a great beginning of fall, right? We're now full-fledged in fall. And in the northern hemisphere, spring in the southern. And this is an amazing time. I know a lot of people love fall. I am a huge Halloween fan, so I am using my Halloween cards. I actually am. Last year I went to Salem, Massachusetts for the first time in October, and I'm actually going back here in October, so that's going to be amazing. So we are in Libra season, and the themes and reflections for October are relationships, balance, and equality. So the biggest thing I wanted to call out in regards to the theme is, we always think of relationships as love relationships, but this is really a time because our external relationships are all just a mirror of our internal relationship with ourselves, what's going on inside of us. So I think the most important thing is really tapping into to figure out what's going on with me. What is my relationship with myself? A great journal activity is to sit down and really tune into your soul and your heart and say, what are my needs and desires? Like, what are my inner, my soul, my parts calling out? What do they need? And as you write those down, you can look at them and say, how am I giving these to myself? If you say, I need something inside me is calling for more love and affection. Well, what kind of affection are you giving yourself? If you have parts that say, I want more like one-on-one time, are you giving yourself one-on-one time? So that's something to think about. And obviously that's going to impact, the more you start working on yourself and really building a better relationship with yourself, it's going to impact your external relationships as well. All right, Aries, if you are interested in a reading with me, as usual, take a look at my website, which is linked below in the description. So let's get started here. Okay, October for Aries. Skull of Flowers, Creating Through the Ashes. And Cauldron, Synergy and Healing. This is again synchronistic, but obviously I didn't also say I lit the heart chakra candle for you guys, which is about healing in the heart space and releasing pain, finding integration. And it's funny that the healing cauldron came up. So you also have Creating Through the Ashes. So I feel like something ended, something kind of is to a point where you're not able to revive it, or you walked away from something here with this Creating Through the Ashes. But now it's kind of like, so what are you going to do what are you going to do? What are you going to take from this? What are the lessons you've learned? How are you going to change and create something new? How are you going to, adjust yourself? Like, what did the situation show to you? And what can you apply going forward that can help you expand and grow? And this has really to do with healing, and the synergy is about coming together in harmony and balance. And that's a big Libra theme as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull a couple of these oracles. So we have Centered, White Light, and Beautiful. And if you see these two cards, they have the same moon phases on them. So I feel like there's some sort of, again, you're going through some sort of phase right now. And I feel like you need to allow yourself, to give space to go through this evolution or this transformation. And these different phases, these could be phases of grief as well, if that's something that you've gone through. That could be also creating from the ashes of losing somebody, and now being the phoenix rising, like rising from this person's passing and taking the energy of their life and their love, and how can you continue to grow and expand with this huge change in your life. But I do feel like this is calling for you to find more centeredness and doing whatever it means to help you feel centered and grounded. That could be getting outside more, putting your bare feet in the grass. It could be as simple as that. Really looking at things in your life that don't help you feel centered, and maybe what do you need to do to change that. But the white light here, so I kind of see this card right now. You see there's like this moon again, and there's this like protective glass around it. So what I'm feeling here for you, Aries, is there was another sign that I talked about this, but doing little meditations or doing visualizations of putting protective white light around you. I always use a diamond white light in like a pyramid or a, what's the other shape called? A Merkaba. And I imagine it around me, and I see the white light looking almost like I'm inside of a diamond. But I feel like there's something specific about protection right now for you, Aries, as you're kind of going through this period. And so I feel like this is all specific guidance for you. That's not always the case in these readings, but for you, Aries, for October, I feel like it's very specific guidance. This beautiful card too, I feel like focus on the things. It's almost like I'm seeing it as more like gratitude or seeing the beauty around you, trying to focus on the little things throughout the day, instead of like allowing everything in your life to overwhelm you, whether it's grief, whether it's healing, whether it's a relationship that's ended or ending, or a job you lost. This is going to help you get out of that negative mindset of just focusing on anything and everything throughout the day that is beautiful to you, whether it's, if you have a pet, noticing the beauty of your pet's face and how they greet you with that loving smile. And, whether it's like all of a sudden you look out the window and you see this flower, and it just in that moment is so beautiful to you, and just really, revel in those moments. Because I think that's really going to help you find a centeredness. If you feel a little bit like you're in chaos right now, energetically or emotionally, I do feel like in October, the guidance is to help you again get grounded, get centered again, and kind of feel more in harmony. All right, let's continue with the tarot here. Jupiter's here in the reading, so definitely I do feel like there's some lucky energy shifting for you in October, which is a good thing. All right, we could all use a little bit more luck. All right, Five of Wands coming out, Hanged Man, the World, Five of Cups. Yeah, definitely some sort of grief here, loss. Three of Cups, the Page of Wands, and then lastly we have the Strength card. So I definitely feel like you are overcoming something that you went through. There is still some inner conflict. I do feel inner conflict, but this could also be manifesting externally in conflict in your life, maybe in certain relationships, in your job, whatever. But the Hanged Man to me is you definitely are feeling stuck. This could feel like there's patterns in your life that you can't get out of. But I also feel the Hanged Man ultimately is asking us to see things differently. The Hanged Man is hanging upside down to gain enlightenment, to gain perspective. And he's also seeing things in a distorted view, right? When you're looking at something upside down, it definitely is distorted. So I do feel like how you're looking at your life or looking at a certain situation, there is some sort of distortion there. It's almost like you're seeing through a filter and you're not really seeing the reality of it. But with the World card here, there is definitely some big endings and new beginnings happening. So something big is shifting in your life. You could have already went through it and you've been feeling the brunt of it through a lot of maybe emotional grief, dealing with the loss of something or someone. But there's still a lot of emotional, like, we need to start focusing on filling our cup emotionally to help support us, so we're not constantly just feeling emotional turmoil. And then we have the Three of Cups and the Page of Cups. So the one thing here with the Three of Cups, I feel like lean on like other people for support. I feel like this is more socially, like friendships. This could be family members, but this to me is more on a group situation or social situation. Don't get too much where you're always alone or like being a recluse. I think there's needing for you to get out. I feel like Aries, you had a reading like that in the last couple months that talked about that as well. But Page of Wands, it's like almost like when you're connecting with people and groups, I do feel like it's going to help you gain different perspectives and help you get out of kind of this old stuck, you know, always kind of rolling in the depth of these deep emotions. And definitely I feel like you're going to gain some strength. And I think October, you're going to feel more confident and get a little bit more strength back. So let's see here. We have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, definitely something is dead, done, and over with. Temperance, Nine of Wands. Something that's been really challenging. You kind of feel a bit beat up by it. It was almost like you finally gave up, but I think that was the right decision to make because I think it was done anyways. Hierophant, ending of a commitment, the Devil. This was a very karmic situation. Two of Pentacles. But there's this like almost like looking on the other side of this, like, what do I do now? But the Devil at the heart of the reading is really referencing something that was really karmic for you. And it's been kind of dragging you down. It either can refer to a commitment, like a long-term commitment. This could be a marriage or long-term relationship. This could also be an end to, like, following, you know, traditional belief systems, dogmas, following family, ending kind of the old way of doing things. And you're like, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to continue down this traditional route because it just causes suffering and challenge. Five of Pentacles. There is definitely something, for one, there's some sort of like physical issues, like money issues going on here, job issues. You could have like been fired or lost a job here, and it's kind of impacting you from a financial situation. I also feel like you've just been like feeling isolated, and it's really put a damper on your just inner world. Like it's just like this Five of Pentacles to me is like, if it's not referring to like financial issues, like to me this is a feeling of like when you just feel a lack of emotional warmth in your life, like love, connection, fun, whatever it is. It's like there's definitely, it's just like you're feeling, that's like the out in the cold energy. Knight of Cups. Someone also, you could be in a relationship that ended and they kind of cut you off. Knight of Cups. And the Three of Wands. Someone's definitely like, this is to me, again, we are kind of moving in the direction of relationship here and karmic relationship patterns. I do feel like you tend to turn your back, or there's a pattern here about someone turning their back on the other person and kind of giving them the cold shoulder. And it could be a pattern of just like wanting something better, but instead of actively taking, you know, actively trying to do something better for yourself or become better, you kind of just stay in a situation, like you just wait it out. but yet you don't do anything to make the current situation any better either. So there is a pattern. There is reference to patterns here. But this could also have to do with some deep emotional stuff that you need to heal and work on here. But what's the Ten of Swords Hierophant? Eight of Swords. Yeah, you definitely, whatever ended here or something is ending, I feel like you just feel like your hands are tied. Like there's nothing you can do to revive this. It could be for some of you, because of the Eight of Swords, the person has a blindfold on. This is self-inflicted stuckness. This person doesn't want to like take the blindfold off and like do... They'd rather just stay stuck instead of having to really look at the truth in the eye, like really look at the elephant in the room or look at the truth to a situation and have to make a decision. It's almost like they just tie themselves up and say, well, I can't get out of this. But actively you can. You just don't want to make certain decisions or have to do what you need to do to get yourself unstuck. That could be like codependency patterns, fear, attachments, just lack of confidence or self-esteem to like independently get away and build your own life. So there's something there, but let's see. What's the Devil about? Eight of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Empress, Three of Swords. Yeah, when it comes to relationships here, to me this is referring to the mother and mother wounding here with the Three of Swords. This is, I mean, this message is clear as day. There's mother wounding. You've had mother wounding from your mother, or there's ancestral karma on the mother's side, on the maternal side. And this has really caused some difficult patterns from a love relationship for you, attracting people in your life that, you know, it's just always has the same pattern or difficulty. You could approach relationships with a certain pattern as well. Ultimately, the pattern isn't out of your control. The pattern is mirroring your own trauma or your own unconscious beliefs about love. And, you know, you kind of are always turning your back like, well, I'm just going to wait this out. But I think you need to take an active approach this month to kind of get out of this kind of cycle here. So Two of Pentacles, Nine of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Yeah, there is a lesson here for you. And I think when you finally learn the lesson, you're definitely going to get yourself out of, like, you're not stuck in the challenge. But also you're going to, like, there's a new path for you, the Fool. Like, I think this is an opportunity for you to end these patterns and to move forward on a new path. There's definitely karmic energy around. This could be a fear of love. It could be a fear of, like, you're afraid of, like, actually life moving forward and change happening. There's something here about, like, the Eight of Wands is about movement, of, like, action, of, like, moving. It can be just anything that's progressing your life forward. There is some sort of fear about it. But, you know, out of this, when we look at the positives, we have the Strength card, the Fool, the World. I see the World as positive because I like that this difficult period is ending. Whatever challenging situation it has ended or is ending, and I think that's going to be a really good thing for you. And I think I like the Fool. You're starting a new path, a new journey, one that's less kind of tainted with all this, like, devil energy and this Three of Swords and the Five of Pentacles here. Interesting, Pisces. Well, I hope this helped you. Definitely enjoy your October. Get out there. Have some fun with friends or family. Connect with different groups. Get out of your mind. Get out of your normal day-to-day stuckness. And I think it's going to all work out. You're going to overcome this, Pisces. All right. I will see you in the next reading. Bye for now.